Have you ever wondered about the significance of the book of Numbers in the Bible? A seemingly arduous journey through the desert filled with excruciating detail, yet intricately woven with divine purpose and direction. Numbers is more than a historical chronicle. It is a testament to God's unwavering guidance over his chosen people, the Israelites. This book records not one but two censuses of all 12 tribes of Israel. It meticulously documents the priestly instructions for handling the Ark of the Covenant, a sacred symbol of God's presence amongst his people. It outlines the exact placement of each tribe as they set up camp, an order reflecting God's design for community and cooperation. And yet the book of Numbers is not merely a catalogue of instructions and statistics. It is a vibrant narrative brimming with significant events that would later echo throughout the scriptures. We witness Joshua and Caleb, the two courageous spies who, against the majority, urged Israel to seize the land promised to them. We observe Moses, at God's command, striking a rock to bring forth water, a symbol of divine provision in desperate times. We see the bronze serpent, lifted high on a pole, a beacon of healing and salvation for those bitten by venomous snakes. And we meet Balaam, a prophet rebuked by his own donkey, a stark reminder that God can use even the most unexpected means to deliver his message. Throughout this winding journey, one thing remains constant: God's unfailing direction. His guidance is evident in the cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night, constant reminders of his presence and provision. Even in the midst of rebellion and grumbling, God's faithfulness never wavers. His patience is tested time and again, yet he remains steadfast, a compass guiding his people through the wilderness of uncertainty. Just as a compass guides a ship, so does God guide his people, even through the most arduous of journeys. Numbers serves as a poignant reminder of this truth, an invitation to trust in God's unfailing guidance, no matter how winding or challenging the path ahead may seem. In the tapestry of scriptures, certain threads stand out, don't they? These threads are woven from the events and figures that shape the narrative and leave an indelible mark. In the book of Numbers, these threads form a complex pattern, one that's rich with history and divine intervention. Take, for instance, the tale of Joshua and Caleb, brave souls among the 12 spies who, against the tide of fear and doubt, encouraged Israel to claim the land promised to them. Their courage echoes in the book of Joshua as a testament to their unyielding faith. Then there's the account of Moses, who, in a moment of divine power, struck a rock, causing water to gush forth, quenching the thirst of a parched nation. This miraculous event is beautifully captured in Psalm 106, reminding us of God's providence, even in the most barren landscapes. The bronze serpent, too, is a significant thread. When the Israelites were plagued by venomous snakes, Moses, under God's command, lifted a bronze serpent on a pole. The Israelites who looked upon it in faith were healed, an event that is referenced in the Gospel of John, symbolizing the healing power of faith. Lastly, we come to the curious tale of Balaam, a prophet rebuked by his own donkey. This event, recalled in the book of Revelation, serves as a stark reminder of God's authority and the unexpected ways in which he communicates his will. These key events and figures, etched in the book of Numbers, are not just historical accounts. They are threads woven into the larger tapestry of Scripture that carry forward the themes of faith, obedience, and divine intervention. They are reminders of God's unyielding presence and his unfailing direction over the nation. Indeed, the past has a way of echoing into the future, etched in the annals of Scripture. Beyond the history, there are lessons etched in these ancient texts. The book of Numbers is not merely a historical record of the Israelites' journey, but a chronicle of endurance and faith, of rebellion, disbelief, and the consequences that followed. In this complex dance of divine and human will, we see God's infinite patience tested time and again. Yet what strikes us most is the enduring nature of his love and guidance. Throughout their journey, Israel was led by God's constant presence, a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. This was a testament to God's unwavering commitment to his people, even in the face of their repeated failures. But let's not forget, God is not a passive observer in this narrative. He is an active participant, invoking consequences for the Israelites' rebellion, complaining, and disbelief. This is a stark reminder that while God's love is enduring, his tolerance for disobedience is not. One recurring theme in Numbers is the expectation God had for his people. They were not just wanderers in the desert. They were his chosen people, destined to act in accordance with his will. This meant more than just physically traversing through the wilderness. It involved worshipping him with their words, serving him with their hands, and living lives that bore witness to his greatness. In essence, the book of Numbers teaches us that actions have consequences. Rebellion, disbelief, and complaining did not go unnoticed or unpunished. But likewise, faith, service, and worship did not go unrewarded. God's people were held to a high standard, and their actions, for better or worse, invited either blessings or consequences. As we traverse the desert of life, our actions, our faith, and our words can either invite blessings or consequences. The lessons from Numbers serve as a guide, reminding us of the importance of aligning our lives with God's will and the blessings that come from living righteously. The scriptures serve not just as a window into the past, but also a mirror for the present. The book of Numbers is a fascinating historical record, a chronicle of God's people navigating their path through the wilderness under his divine guidance. Yet, it isn't merely a tale from antiquity. It provides us modern readers with a profound and timeless lesson about obedience and faithfulness. In the book of Numbers, God's delight in obedience shines through. This delight is not simply about following rules or regulations, but about a deep, heartfelt desire to live in alignment with God's will. It's about aligning our actions and words with our worship of Him, reflecting His glory in everything we do. This principle remains as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. The Apostle Paul, in his first letter to the Corinthians, underscores this point. He writes in 1 Corinthians 10:6, "These things happened as examples for us so that we would not crave evil things as they also craved." Paul urges us to learn from the Israelites' journey, to see their experiences as a mirror reflecting our own spiritual journeys. Just like the Israelites, we too wrestle with temptation, with grumbling and rebellion. And just like them, we too are called to a life of obedience and faithfulness to God. But what does this look like in our modern context? It's about living righteously, about making choices that reflect our devotion to God. It's about using our words not just to speak, but to worship, to express our love and adoration for Him. It's about transforming our actions into acts of service, ways to demonstrate our commitment to His will. In essence, it's about embodying the lessons of the Israelites' journey in our own lives. It's about walking with God, not just in the wilderness, but in our everyday lives, in our workplaces, in our homes, in our relationships. Just like the Israelites, we too are on a journey towards obedience, faithfulness, and ultimately towards God Himself. So we've traversed the desert, stood tall amongst giants, struck rocks, and listened to donkeys all in the span of a few minutes. A whirlwind journey, wouldn't you agree? We've delved deep into the book of Numbers, an intricate labyrinth of historical detail, census results, priestly instructions, and divine guidance. We've journeyed alongside the 12 tribes of Israel, not yet established in a land promised to them, and we've watched as they tested God's patience and faithfulness. We've seen how they failed many times, and yet throughout it all we've witnessed God's unwavering presence, leading the way through a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. This is not just a history lesson, it's a story of humanity's relationship with the divine, a tale of rebellion, complaining, and disbelief. It's a testament to God's intolerance of such behaviors, and yet a reminder of His constant presence, guiding and teaching His people how to walk with Him. The book of Numbers is a mirror held up to us, reflecting our own grumblings and rebellions. It challenges us to ask ourselves, how can we avoid following their example? It encourages us to pray for a soft heart, open to God's guiding hand. But more than anything, the book of Numbers is a testament to God's delight in obedience. It reminds us that He is our God too, and that He wants us to live righteously, worshiping Him through our words and works. Remember the words of the Apostle Paul when he penned his first letter to the Corinthian church. "These things happened," he wrote in 1 Corinthians 10:6, "as examples for us so that we would not crave evil things as they also craved." Our journey through the book of Numbers is a reminder of this, a call to learn from the past and apply those lessons today. If you've enjoyed this journey through the book of Numbers, please press the like button and subscribe for more biblical explorations. Remember, every step in knowledge is a step closer to wisdom.